Takemichi Hanagaki is probably one of the weakest main characters I've ever seen in anime. Barring the fact that he can time travel, he's actually quite physically weak and honestly isn't that good looking. There are obviously so many other people in the show that are stronger than Takemichi by a mile, say Mikey or Draken. Surely those two are better role models to show what true strength actually is. But out of everyone in all of Tokyo Revengers, Takemichi still, hands down, is the best example of what true strength actually is. What Takemichi has is something so special that it's able to beat out raw talent and pure charisma. Something that makes him truly strong. So, in this video, I want to hopefully showcase some of the moments that I feel display Takemichi's true strength and what I was able to learn from him watching Tokyo Revengers. So to begin, we gotta start from the very beginning. The very first moment I saw Takemichi display true strength, and that is when he first saved Draken. You see, there happened to be a very important battle happening between Tokyo Manji and Valhalla. Before all this, Takemichi was tasked to go find Draken and save him before he dies, before Tokyo Manji falls in the hands of this creep over here. Before this battle even started, Draken was completely worn out after fighting hordes upon hordes of Valhalla members. Takemichi, knowing that he had to save Draken because he couldn't save himself, was scrambling to find him. It wasn't until he figured out that Draken was about to get stabbed by none other than Kiyomasa. Now, if you don't know who Kiyomasa is, he's the one that essentially traumatized Takemichi and literally made his life a living hell in the future. It so happens that Takemichi as a kid was an inspiring delinquent and wanted to literally take over all of Tokyo. However, his dreams were dashed away when Kiyomasa and his goons pretty much beat the ever-living shit out of Takemichi and his friends. This led Takemichi down a long and winding road of literally avoiding every single problem that came his way. He ran away so much that he managed to live in a completely different town, lose all of his entire friends, and end up living a pretty shitty life. But what if I told you that Takemichi had the power to change everything with this moment? You see, now Takemichi is scrambling to find Draken. Luckily, he manages to find Draken right behind him, lying down on the ground. Fortunately for Takemichi, Draken is still alive. But unfortunately, Draken is bleeding out and fast. Takemichi, knowing that there's no choice in the matter, decides to pick up Draken on his back and try to take him to the nearest hospital. As he's walking down the alley, luckily, Hina and Emma called an ambulance. Now it seems like all hope is saved, right? Well, it's never that simple. All of a sudden, Kiyomasa and all of his goons are walking down menacingly toward Takemichi and Draken. Kiyomasa is intent on finishing the job he just started. At first, Takemichi is scared shitless. Everything is rushing to him. All the trauma, all the terrible, painful experiences he's had of the past, all because of this man he's staring at right now. But knowing what happens in the future, Takemichi realizes that he has no choice. He has to face his demons. So Takemichi walks up to Kiyomasa and decides to fight him. For a while during the fight, Takemichi is getting beat up. It even got so bad that he managed to catch a knife through his hand. But Takemichi is not the type to give up. He pulls out the knife, runs straight at Kiyomasa, bites him, jumps on his back, and starts putting him into a headlock until Kiyomasa finally passes out. Takemichi had finally overcome his trauma and beat his demon. It was at this moment I understood why Takemichi is the definition of true strength. What makes him so strong is the resilience he has within him. Resilience is the ability to bear through bad conditions and come out of it no matter what. To move forward and take action, knowing that things can go wrong. However, at the end of the day, you know that the actions that you took were right, that you followed your beliefs all the way to the end. Resilience is not something people are born with immediately. It's a skill that needs to be learned through experience. And this is just one experience of Takemichi's where he was able to finally learn what resilience is. When Takemichi finally faced off Kiyomasa, he knew he had to bear the pain that his future self had felt for so long. It was with the support of others that he realized he needed to find a way to move forward, to live his life, to take his revenge. And when Kiyomasa finally fell, That was when Takemichi took his first steps to becoming truly strong. But this wasn't it for Takemichi. This was only one of those moments that he's shown true strength in my eyes. Some other moments include the time that he stood up against Taiju and fought for Hakai. He bared the pain that Hakai felt after being abused by his older brother for so long. He knew what Taiju did wasn't right, and at the end of the day, fought for what he believed in. And I can't go without mentioning one of my favorite moments in this entire show. The one moment that I feel displays Takemichi's true strength, and that was when Takemichi went face to face with Izana in the Tenjiku arc. All of Tokyo Manji's strongest fighters were down and out for the count. When Mikey was gone, when Draken was gone, Takemichi went out there and brought everyone he knew to go and fight. It didn't matter if they were outgunned or outmatched. They still fought no matter what, and Takemichi fought the hardest. He knew he was not capable of beating Izana at his own game, but he still held on. He held on until Mikey got back, and from then on, that was when the tables shifted on the Tenjiku arc. One of my favorite moments in that entire sequence is when he finally stands up and just raises his arm in the air. I love that moment so much that I actually took the manga panel and made it my lock screen. I used it as a daily reminder to show me what true strength actually was. That no matter what life throws at you, no matter how outgunned you are, you still pick yourself up and believe in yourself. It doesn't matter how physically strong you are, because at the end of the day, deep down inside, we're already strong enough. It's all a matter of believing in yourself and taking a leap of faith. And that is true strength in my eyes. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd like to hear what you think about all this in the comments below. I'm going to be definitely reading most of the comments, so let's have a conversation about it. I've been Luck Deep, and remember, stay eccentric out there. Peace.